Alright, doing some Napoleon Total War here. This was a match I just played against a guy named Digiu, who was the host of this match. And a very lovely guy to join with. I enjoyed the game very much, so thank you if you're watching this. Anyway, we're playing on the Pyramids, which is a fun little map that I feel like I don't play enough. So, on my left, I put 3 of the regular gun cav plus a camel gunner and 2 infantry. Over here in the middle, I've got only 2 lights. I've got an infantry, and then I've got 5 melee troops that you can see here. 2 Bashi Bazooks and 3 Semet Janissaries. And then over here, I've got 3 lines, and then I've got 2 of the very elite Silatar Guard. Just to really be able to pack a punch. Now, my first move here is it's pretty orthodox for this map, I think, and that's really to make a hard play for the hill. So I immediately order my troops up here, and I kind of keep an eye on what he's doing. If he's not going to run, honestly, I'm not going to either. But also I do see, so let's take a look at his build, right? He's got he's got 2 gun cav and 1 high-level Lancer. He's got a Gen Staff. He's put a tick of experience on him, probably, because he had a little bit of weird amount of money left over. He's got 4 Lights, all Chasseurs. He's got 3 Old Guard. He's got a Young Guard, another 3 Young Guard, it looks like, the Brave, and the Guard Seaman, Teehee. So, that's kind of... So, let's see. He's got 8, 10... 12... 13, yeah, he doesn't have... he's only got a lot fewer troops than I have. 8, 11, 15... yeah, he's only got 8... He's 2 under the cap, is the point. Sorry. And that's kind of a big weakness of this strategy, as I think you'll see in this match. So we're both going for this little, plateau. Even though it's actually kind of annoying to maneuver around, it's just very advantageous to take. I mean, even if this guy just camps up here, it's a better approach than straight up through here. So, this is definitely a key spot to take. He's now running his infantry, but not his cav, and he's getting them a little bit winded, and that's something you gotta be careful about on this map, which is why I was so cautious. And here you can see I'm choosing to cross my light infantry over to this side instead to contest his. And that's a thing where I feel pretty confident in losing, but you know, I mean, 2 versus 4, you know, you don't even need to go into unit stats at all, do you? That's... I mean, I guess you do a bit, but you know what I mean. That's very advantageous for him. And here, he's kind of moving to bring his entire army into this gap, but you can't do that. The red line's right here. This town is here, and, you can get a unit or 2 into there, but it's really tough to maneuver, so it kind of naturally is a flank protector in a way. So here, but seeing he's doing this, I'm I'll just be able to surround him, and he'll be screwed. Here, you can still see I'm keeping these horse in a good spot. Honestly, what I could have done... No, never mind. I was going to say keep them just behind where as soon, you know, the lights will get in range. Sure, but they'll be on the other side of the hill, but if they get in range of the cav, then they can shoot back. Didn't do that, just retreated. Here, now this is very odd to me. He's retreating, he's moving these lights, you know, over to here, when, he has, you know, 4 of them versus these 2. That should be a fight he wants to take. I guess he wants to maybe use them here uncontested, but this is one of those situations where if he wants to do a whole lot of running, I'm going to let him. Oh, and then he's okay, I'll bring the lights back here after all. Maybe he realizes what I'm thinking, that hey, wait a minute, I have a huge lights advantage. But yeah, so here's just a little bit of maneuvering. I'm kind of getting all my melee troops so that they'll be part of this force. I don't want them to go, you know, up the hill here and tire themselves. I don't want them to run. Like, you want to keep your melee troops, your sword troops, really fresh until you want to keep all your troops as fresh as possible, which is why, like, this idea of, like, coming down here and then retreating back. Like, these guys are already winded. So are my lights, but other than that, like, because I had to move them, I moved them from here to a different field of battle. Like, his chasseurs are tired and winded. That's not, mine are winded and active. Oh, and now just see, like, they're in great shape, and that, I think, is gonna be to his detriment. And here I'm okay with this fight basically being across some woods. Maybe I should have even moved up a little bit further, but, like, this kind of makes it much more of a holding thing. Though my units, I probably should have had my general in place here, and you see me trying to bring him around, but pathfinding, he doesn't do too great a job with that. But of course, these old guard in here are killers, so that already hurt unit broke. But here, I do have one big advantage, is this huge preponderance of cav. So if he's gonna be firing on my lights, then bam, as soon as he's burst his wad, get in there, force him into square. And I've heard him, oh, didn't notice that old guard. That was a pretty good use of reserve tactics right there. With that being said, I'll just try to shift into this other one, like, cause as much disruption among his elite units as I can. Here I'm now trying to send another one through, because I got into these guys. I'm like, old guard, you want to take your chance to do damage to them when you can. And here, okay, I'm lining up, and then at the same time, I'm attacking here. I caught this just in time, it looks like, with a cav charge through this line that's just formed up. And I'm charging with my heavy cav while he's busy trying to micro over there, and I get into his units really well. And I think here is kind of where the battle is mostly decided, because in the space of two cav assaults, I've greatly weakened his old guard, and I've charged into his unsquared units here, including a guard seaman, and now I'm launching my first melee assault with my Bashi bazooks, who are just, they were targeted on someone who's the guard seaman. They've since routed. So at this point, like, his entire battle strategy has collapsed, right? These are still trying to chase those guys, which kind of works out, because then they're going to run into the chasseurs. The cav clip on him a bit, and I form these units into square. Like, these Bashis, like, they perform great. I should have called them back. I let them chase a thing into the young guard, but these guys, like, they managed to get into these very tired chasseurs, and, like, they've got 3 tips of experience, so they've got good morale. Here he charges his lancers straight into across a bunch of muskets, including these ones that weren't firing yet, and these camel gunners that take one shot and finish him off. And at this point, like, he's in disarray. Look, I've routed these chasseurs with these Bashi bazooks. Like, man, I got great money out of these Bashis, I think. Great value for my money. Here, like, okay, he's disrupted by my melee. Well, what do you do when your opponent is disrupted? You take advantage and move up. So here, I begin moving up. I don't think I push up hard enough because I'm waiting for the rest of my troops and stuff. I wish the dots would show your projected range. That would actually be pretty helpful. Here, I'll keep pushing up more, and this is actually really good for me, this little hill. I think on pyramids especially, you gotta be really careful about, like, little changes in elevation. Got a bunch of fresh troops here, but I'll just push up. And we still got 2 gun cav, but not making great use of them. And here, like, I could just assault him harder, and probably wipe him pretty easy at this point. But this is one of those things where I'm like, you know what? One of the points of kiting is to see if you can force your opponent into a micro mistake where they fuck up an easily winnable attack. I really don't know what his plan. I mean, I guess other than that, what his plan with kiting was, because like, see, look, see what I'm talking about? The dunes. So those chasseurs are right here. They're not really contributing to the fight, so this is actually a really good way for me to have the line set up. I mean, I'm not doing great damage to him either, but then he runs away again, which... Oh, and he brings his gun cab over there, and they shoot at my finally routing Bashis. So here, I'm just like, okay, I'll form a square. And running my lights are coming back from routing. You may have noticed the dots earlier. So here, I'm like, okay, I'll push up this way. Get some good fire going here, push up here. I'm like, in just terms of classic gun troops, like, he's got a big advantage here. But I have still 3 fresh Semat Janissaries. Managed to get this guy into square too when he tried to switch targets. And here he kind of, I don't know if he gets stuck on them or, yeah, it looks like he's just stuck on them when he's trying to move over here. But I'm getting good fire on the remnants of his old guard. And here I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just have my guards charge at his cav.
Our men are running.
Oh yeah, I did a cav charge on his old guard, and they, along with my leftmost infantry, routed. But, you know, I did some good damage to it. I'd say that was good value for money on that charge. Here I bring up my camel gunners. Yeah, both our cav in this area routed. So here I'm like, okay, those old guard are... First of all, they're moving, and second of all, they can't form square. Camels! Get them! And then here, I just have all my awesome and fresh sword troops charge, which could honestly probably win the rest of this battle on their own. But I have everyone go in. Those chasseurs are fucked. Even the guard is fucked. Their general, I think he just did a suicide charge and I got him almost right away. And here I'm like, even gun troops, just give them the bayonet. Because the bayonet is awesome. And, you know, they're holding a brave line here, but there's only so much that they can stand against here.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Way to go, guys. Anyway, good game to Diggy. Thank you for playing me.